Hello, YouTube fam. I'm your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. Man, you might as well stick a fork in it. It's done. Finding toys and video games in a while, that shit is over. It's a wrap, dog. Look, it's real, man. Nobody's finding anything out there because you're competing against so many different damn people. You got resellers out there buying this shit up by the groves and selling it to people like Chase After the Right Price, Phoenix Resale, the people who got buy lists. And there are a couple of more people that, don't put their names out there that you could sell to. You got like 10 damn people that you could sell to. Resellers are selling to these people because you don't have to sell on eBay. You get your money straight up. And see, that's the thing. As far as toys, you got a lot of people who own these toy stores. They're going out hunting, looking for this stuff, man. And, they get it in a store and it's marked up out of this world. Vintage toys, man, you might as well forget it. Dude, I remember the days back when you could find a USS Flag, a Terradrome, a Castle Grayskull, Motu figures, G.I. Joe figures, just a lot of the old stuff like Silverhawks and Thundercats. You were able to find all that damn stuff. Superpower stuff back in the day from Kenner. You were able to find this stuff in a while. My generation and the one before us were the ones who basically played with toys and video games, man. We're a dying breed. A lot of our stuff is just about gone. So I'm trying to figure out who would you be collecting from. And that's the thing that I'm looking at, man. Again, after us, that's just about it. I've been looking around to figure who else is out there, man. Who else is, going to do stuff. Man, it's so rap. It is. I was talking to people and trying to figure out, where are you selling this stuff at? All of y'all video games and stuff. And they're like, we're selling it on whatnot. I thought they'd be selling on eBay. They said, you can't sell that stuff on eBay. You ain't gonna make no money. eBay is slow. It takes too long. You can sell this damn stuff in damn near a minute. Dude, this is what I'm talking about. See, people are finding ways to get this stuff and basically box out other collectors, man. And like I said, me to look at vintage toys, I got to go on the secondary market. Me to find old Pokemon cards and, sports cards. Dude, I'm not a fan of that garage sales. Things like laser disc and Blu-ray, disc. I'm not a fan of those anymore at, like yard sales and thrift stores. Man, that stuff is just about over. Finding, stuff like that now, it's in the books, bro. The Goodwills and Salvation Armies got eBay pages now. They had them way back back in 2015. So I know they sell all their good stuff, and some of them even got stores that they sell video games from. So my thing is, man, what are we doing here? It's like you fighting, just to find stuff, man. And think about it. I was talking to y'all about finding stuff in a while. Walmart and Target, man, shit, you might as well forget that. I couldn't tell you the last time I found something in Walmart and Target. Well, not inside the store. Online, I found Captain America and, Captain America and Falcon. The Captain America got stolen and, I had to, get a refund for it, man. So I was out that. So I'm like, damn. Somebody opened the box on that and left the damn box in right on the damn porch. I said, boy, this is some shit. Somebody said, get a doorbell camera. Bro, people been knocking doorbell cameras off. Just ripping them off the damn doors, man. So what are we doing now? You can't really have too much of nothing. Because people are too caught up in trying to take what you spend your hard-earned cash on, man. And like I said, I'm getting tired of all that. It's a little too much. And I believe a lot of people are extra, man. So, I'm trying to get that done. Used to find comic books and things like that. I was able to find Funko Pops out there at one point in time. I'm not finding nothing right now. And that's what I'm talking about. I used to find small electronics, like old iPods and stuff like that, old cell phones, stuff like that. I'm not finding any of that. And see, this is what a lot of people sit back and start wondering, like, where all this stuff going? People buying it and selling it to these places. There are toy stores here in Chicago, man. And like I said, I'm trying to figure out even how they stay in business, man, because it's not a big thing like it used to be. And I know people say, man, toys is $1 billion business. It is. Just because it's $1 billion business don't mean that these toy stores are making an arm and a leg. It don't mean that these video game stores are making an arm and a leg, man. Some of these stores are not making anything. Some of them don't even have, where you could come in and really pay attention to stuff. The stores look all jacked up. Like I said, people are not paying attention. I'm looking for stuff that makes sense. And like I said, video games, a lot of people are slowing up on those because the prices are really pushing people away, driving them back. Dude, like I said, I remember back in the day, and I'm going to be honest with you, this was some years back. This was around 2003, 2002, 2004. I was able to go to thrift stores and, garage sales and flea markets, man, and found all type of video game consoles. I was able to find action figures and every damn thing like that. I was able to find a lot of this stuff because they actually had toy stores out at the flea market, not actual toy stores, but like used toys and stuff like that, used video games. Dude, they had all this stuff, man, but now it's impossible to get this stuff. You gotta find it at a certain time when people thinking that people ain't gonna be out, and you come up and find a deal. I'm looking at all this, man. This is why I'm saying, I don't put too much into one toy line, one genre. Oh man, I'm just a movie collector, bro. You be forever trying to find some shit. I'm a video game collector. You be forever, man. After you get all the stuff you want, what you do next? Even with the action figures, man, I go to different lines, and people like, you don't even got space to put the stuff up, man. This is how I keep going with it, man. You starting to see that there's nothing out there. I used to find G.I. Joes out in a while. Hell, I used to go to Dollar Trees and Dollar Generals and Family Dollars and find G.I. Joe back when they had them for like $2. You remember that, the 3 3/4? They were $2 at Dollar General, bro. I went there one day back in the day and bought $20 worth. 10 of them. You still got to pay taxes, but this is what I'm talking about, man. This is the times that, you were able to buy toys at KB Toys, man. 5 for 10, 4 for 10. These were action figures, man. Marvel Universe, from Toy Biz. They changed the packaging and stuff for you to buy it, for you to think it's something totally different, which made a lot of sense, which a lot of people bought stuff. Man, I'm going to say it just like this. Some days, I miss those days, because those days, you had a plethora of stores just selling product. You had, dedicated toy stores, like Toys R Us, KB Toys, FEO Swartz. You had stuff like that. I forgot the other store that closed, I think, back in the early 70s. I mean, late 70s or early 80s. It was right before Toys R Us. It was one of those. I forgot what it was. But, a lot of these toy stores, man, you sitting here trying to find out. Like I said, even just looking, when they put these particular toy lines, not toy lines, when they put stuff online, far as they saying that we got, a yard sale that's about to pop off, a garage sale or whatever. So what you end up doing is you end up going online and, you talk to the people and be like, man, could I just buy this stuff that you got already? Dude, I remember back in the day, I was able to buy, they had USS Flags and Terradromes and all this stuff, man. They had Cat's Lair that I didn't buy. The guy wanted like $400 back then for it, man. $400. Dude, you know how much $400 is compared to $1,000 now? Dude, I was willing to pay it. But I came too late. And this is why I say sometimes when you snooze, you lose. And you got to make sure that you on board with all this stuff, man. I've been buying stuff left and right, man, trying to find the things that I'm looking for, man. And like I said, it's going to take some time. If we looking just in the wild for stuff, you're going to be highly disappointed. It's just not like it used to be, bro. There's too much competition when it comes down to collecting. It's too much competition when it comes down to just, people being people, man. I just want to actually get the stuff I want, man. I want to be able to find, like, some of the old vintage toys, bro. I'm not finding none of that. And I don't think I'm going to find none of that. I'm just being realistic. You may not find none of that. It's just how it is right now, man. It's a wrap. Stick a fork in it. It's done. Finding stuff in the wild. I haven't heard anybody tell me they found something in the wild out and about. You get what I'm saying? But till later, thank you for watching. Peace out.